Hey guys, it's Marcy here. Welcome in. Happy Saturday night. Today is January. Today's January 13th, and it means it's the day 13 of my 30 books in 30 weeks reading challenge. And I'm excited. Today's been an awesome day. I had a couple one-on-ones with some of my new clients for the Raising the Bar 60-day laser coaching program. And when I tell you guys, these women absolutely excite me. You would not believe how amazing these ladies are. I just got off literally just like maybe 10 minutes ago, just got off of an incredible call with a new client who we tried to work together some time ago, and it just everything never didn't work out right. Timing didn't work out right, and I'm telling you, she's about to blow up. We talked about some major platform stuff for her. She's gonna blow up. So super excited about that. For those of you who are on here live with me, thank you, and welcome. Happy Saturday. And hey Robbie, hey Clifton, Celeste, I see you guys. Hey. And for those of you who might be catching on the replay, either on my YouTube channel or on LinkedIn or here on Facebook, I appreciate you guys making that investment. What's going on, Takira? And for those of you who maybe are just popping in for the very first time, you haven't really seen my video before, everybody share this out, first of all. But for those of you who are new, let me introduce myself and kind of let you get familiar with who I am and what I do. So my name is Marcy Batiste, as you could probably see from my profile. And this is all about leading 1,000 women on a mission for transformation and change so that they can truly discover and embrace their star power. I mean, thank you, Takira, for sharing. Letting women shine, building a community where women can support one another. That's incredible to me. That's what I'm all about. And beyond that, I also, thanks Robbie. Beyond that, I also have my own consulting company called Bankable Success Advisors, which is a leading recovery solutions provider. And so what the recovery solutions provider, what that means is working with businesses and individuals to help them really optimize their personal, financial, emotional time investments. And so on business side, it's workplace and domestic violence education primarily, along with some business contingency planning and disaster recovery. And then on the personal side, that's where my heart is. And that's where I do a lot of my one-on-one coaching and my group coaching, which is why I was on calls with new clients all night tonight. So 30 books in 30 weeks. Those of you who've been following me for a while know, hey Brian, hey Maurice, know that I have been doing various book challenges for the last few months. And so for 2018, we're talking about raising the bar. In my community of women, we're talking about raising the bar. And to lead a community, you have to be willing to walk the talk. So I said to myself, how can I really raise the bar on this reading challenge and make it really something that people can learn and grow from? So I decided a book a day was too much, and one book a month was not enough. So I settled on one book a week for the next 30 weeks. So it's going to take us to the end of July. And this week we're on week 2. The first week we did The Power of Full Engagement, and this week we're doing Women Who Love Too Much by Robin Norwood. And I've said all week, and I'm going to continue to say even tomorrow when we get ready to land this plane, don't let the title of the book fool you. The information is universal, crosses all gender boundaries. So don't get hung up on the title, because there's a whole lot of people, both male and female, who love too much, who love the wrong way, and who love in an unhealthy way. So when you hear love too much, it's not about the amount of love. It's about doing it to a level that it is unhealthy for you, and that's unique to everyone. So I'm sharing strategies from this book. That's what I've been doing all week. And today I want to talk about the people who are literally dying for love. And because I work with so many women, relationships are huge. They're on people's New Year's resolutions list. They're on people's list of the thing I need the most help with. They're on when I did my boss series, and we talked about finance and fitness and relationships was the big boom. Like, that's the thing where people were getting stuck on that. They were stumbling, and so many times stay in relationships that died, or they allow relationships to die when they don't have to because they're approaching them from a toxic standpoint or an unhealthy way. And so tonight's message, Dying for Love, is really talking about those individuals, the ones who stay too long and then don't know how to get out. And some of you may think that because I talk about domestic violence, and that's really, domestic violence champion is really my sweet spot, that's my home base. I'm not talking about this from a domestic violence standpoint. Now, certainly that may be a component of an unhealthy relationship, but this really is about the people who just stay in the relationship and it's dead. They're no longer being fed from the relationship on either side of it, typically. People stay out of convenience. They stay out of what I call finding comfort in a discomforting situation. I used to say when I talked about my relationships, it was the crap I knew versus the crap I didn't know. And so it was easier to stay in a bad relationship than to face my fears to either A, go find another relationship, or B, God forbid, just be by myself. I don't need a relationship. But it took me a really, really long time to get to the point where I am completely happy outside and apart from a relationship. And, you know, sometimes, and it's funny because the world can make you feel like you're a weirdo because of that. And so, you know, I get the question all the time, like, why are you single? What's wrong with you? And why does something have to be wrong with me because I'm happy outside of a relationship? I would suggest, and I would argue, and I do often debate this, that if more people were happy outside their relationships, they'd be happier within a relationship because they know who they are, they know what they want, and they go into a relationship from a standpoint of what's going to build me up, what's going to fill my cup, what's going to soothe my soul, what's going to make me feel better, what platform are we standing on? But instead, most people go into it because the sex is bomb, or because the money's right, or they got the right job, or, you know, they're from the right family, or for a whole lot of reasons. Or the one that's always good, oh, but I love him, oh, but I love her. If you haven't learned to love yourself, how in the hell you love somebody else? And whenever I ask people, well, what does love look like to you? What does love mean to you? Most people haven't ever taken the time to even think about it. They're just like, oh, you know the feeling. No, love is an action. It's not a feeling. It's not a feeling. Love's not an emotion. It's a thought. How about, let's debate about that. But anyway, so, yeah, I could go on. I could really go on and on about that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the people who stay in it for the wrong reasons and why they don't get out. And that's what I call dying for love. Like, you're not literally dying. You're not going to be buried in 6 feet under because you stay in this relationship. But your soul is not fulfilled. You don't have happiness. You don't have joy anymore. And that, to me, is that life is probably one of the most painful deaths ever. Hey, Terry. Hey, Jay. But not a lot of people look at it like that. How dead they feel in a dead end. Why do you think they call it a dead end relationship? Dead. That's it. And we're dying for love. Like, we'll stay in it out of the comfort of the known versus taking a risk on the unknown, versus saying, this isn't really good for me and I think I'm going to just try it on my own and risk it. But we'll say, no, you know, I already know how he is. So, you know, all relationships are bad. Like, these are the kind of language of the women that I'm dealing with. And some of the men, because I got some male clients too. Like, that's a language. Like, I know my girl crazy, but I know her level of crazy. Why you want to be with somebody crazy? That's not healthy. You're dying for love. Like, don't do that. You don't have to do that. Why are you choosing that? Because at that point it is a choice. You're choosing crazy. And so, the question often then moves into, then why don't they get help? Why do you stay in a dead relationship long after all feeling is gone? But people know. Like I used to be in a relationship one time where, and I was in it for 3 freaking years, you guys. It was like one of the worst relationships I've ever had. He was narcissistic. He was verbally abusive. He insulted me. I was never skinny enough. I was never pretty enough. I was never smart enough. Mind you, I pretty much look like I do now. I was actually a little thinner than I am now. And I was vice president of a bank. I think I'm pretty cool for the most part. But here's a couple things. Number one, I wasn't clear about who I was and what I brought to the table. So I was settling and compromising on things that were less than I deserved because I didn't realize that I deserved better. That's one component. And then the other is I would fight for something just so I could say I won. And I remember watching White Men Can't Jump, and there's this line in that movie where they say, sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And that was like, ding, 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 ding. When I would think about that in the context of relationships, you can hold on to this relationship and you can win the privilege of staying in it. But if it doesn't feed your soul, what are you getting out of it? So you really lose. You're really dying for love because you're not being fed. And in order to grow, you must be fed. And so there's a couple things that I think that make people avoid being and asking for help. Number one, asking for help means having to admit that there's a problem. That by itself can be super, super scary for some people. And then there's that internal struggle. Like for me, I had this internal struggle going on that said, I'm so successful career-wise, I should be able to just figure this relationship thing out. I don't really need help. I don't need somebody in my business because I've already proven I'm accomplished, I'm educated, I'm smart. I can figure this out too. I always figure everything out, and sometimes you can't figure it out. But that internal struggle, that internal conflict in your mind that says you should be able to figure this out is a hard thing to overcome if that's the story that you keep telling yourself about what getting help means. What else? People are concerned about looking like a fool. Like, oh, I'm going to look so stupid if I go and I tell somebody all the stuff that I've put up with, if I tell somebody all the BS that they put me through, if I don't leave them, then, and I'm telling you about this, then I look stupid. I look like a fool. And people that truly genuine, I want y'all to get this. Someone that's truly in it to help you from a general sense, or from a genuine sense, is never going to think that you were a fool because you stayed. They're never going to think you're a fool because you made a mistake. They're never going to think you're a fool because you just don't pull the trigger and leave. Like anybody who's ever been in anything in a relationship knows that by the time you got housing together and cars together and insurance and benefits and bills and all this kind of stuff, it's not always that easy just to pick up and leave. And so someone who's been through some things is not ever going to judge you and think that you're a fool for getting in the situation or for not getting out of the situation right away. The goal then is to give you the tools to help you navigate towards finding a healthier space. And that healthier space might not necessarily be leaving the relationship. It might just mean changing the dynamics of how you advocate for yourself in the relationship. So you're not a fool for being in it. You're not a fool for falling for the shenanigans or the foolery or whatever you want to call it. You just need some different tools. And so then you can manage the process better. What else? They're like, is it worth my time? Is it going to be worth my money? Change is expensive, both from a monetary standpoint and from an emotional standpoint. But not changing is more expensive. When you are in an unhealthy relationship, not changing will cost you far more than asking for help ever will. I promise you that. Toxic relationships, unhealthy relationships, being miserable in general, like, is a price nobody should want to pay. It's exponentially more expensive to stay miserable than it is to seek out happiness. And then people are afraid, like, will it even work? Like, am I going to go through all this for no reason? Is it really going to work? Is it really going to help me? What can they tell me that I don't already know? And it's not about telling you what you don't already know. Sometimes it's about reassuring you that what you already know is okay to know. Does that make sense? It's okay to know that your relationship is not what you want. It's okay if you know that you deserve better but haven't sought it out. It's okay if you know you made some mistakes. That's what the help is there for. We're not here to judge. No coach, no mentor, no trainer is there to judge you. They're there truly and genuinely to help you. And trust me, nobody enters these arenas of service because we don't care. That's not, I mean, you just don't do it. It's such an emotionally taxing thing sometimes, because you get invested in these, you get vested in people's lives, and you get invested in their success. And I was on a coaching call before I got on this live, and we were talking about teaching people about abuse and things like that. And that was one of the things that I shared with her. I said, you be prepared, because sometimes you get into this arena of coaching, leadership, expertise, and it's exhausting because you want everybody to win so bad. You want everybody to heal. You want everybody to get healthy. You know that if they work with you, you can help them. But they're so reluctant and so full of these fears and these concerns and these questions that it blocks their own blessing from working with you and receiving the information that you have. And so nobody goes in this because we want to judge anyone. Nobody goes in this because we want to laugh or poke fun or because we think you're stupid. 9 out of 10 times when you deal with a coach in any of these areas of expertise, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's success, whether it's happiness, whether it's, life coaches and marriage coaches and all this other stuff, these people are in those industries because they did a whole lot of stuff that didn't work. Hey, Helen, they did a whole lot of stuff that didn't work. And now you get full benefit to learn the lessons without having to take the class. Like, they're your shortcut. That's what asking for help is. It's like getting a shortcut. And then the biggest thing is, what if I fail? What if I make all these investments and they give me all these tools and I just don't put it into practice? What if I fail? What if I can't leave the relationship? What if I can't make it work? What if? Really? What if you stay and your life keeps sucking? What if you don't make a change? What if they could help you and you didn't let them? What if there's an easier way? What if you made yourself a priority? What if that? And so you have to relook at how you ask these questions. Stop being so eager to die for love that you forget to live for love. Because I'm testimony that it's a whole lot of love that you can provide for yourself. And you loving yourself enough to ask for help is the first start. Ding-a-ding, what's up? It's the first start, you guys. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be content to be in a miserable relationship, or even a relationship. It doesn't even have to be miserable. Like, women who love too much, men who love too much are not always necessarily miserable, but it doesn't mean that they're in a healthy relationship. So understanding that just sometimes you need some new tools in your toolbox, and that's what mentors are for. That's what coaches are for. That's what tutors are for. That's what I'm here for. And you're not going to fail. Like, that's the cool thing about getting help on finding your happiness, building success. You can't fail because you're going to get better. It's guaranteed. You will see improvements. You will experience more happiness. You will experience more joy because that's what you start looking for. It's impossible to fail completely at this. It's impossible. It's impossible. Totally impossible. It could be slow, but it's never impossible. So that's my message tonight. If you are someone who is dying for love, if you've been someone who knows that your relationship, and also one other thing, when I say relationship, I don't necessarily mean an intimate partner. I mean friendships. I mean work relationships. I mean friends with benefits relationships. I mean people on the street relationships. I mean the people in the supermarket relationships. I don't care. Every time you interact with someone, every time you engage with another person, it's a level of a relationship. And you need to manage them all unilaterally towards your happiness. Every single one of them. Every one of them. It's non-negotiable. Absolutely non-negotiable. I always say I sold out to my happiness. So for me, happiness is my meter. Literally, if I can't feel happy when I'm around you, if I can't experience happy when I see you, I don't need to be around you. Like, I literally don't need to be around you. If going somewhere is going to make me feel not happy, hey, Anthony, if it's going to make me feel not happy, 9 out of 10 times, unless it's like for a job or something, I don't go. And even at doing the coaching and the group coaching, the private coaching, if I gotta feel like, oh God, I gotta call so-and-so today, you shouldn't be my client. Because your coach should never feel that way about you. Nor should you ever feel like, oh my God, I gotta talk to my coach. Now, saying, oh my God, I gotta talk to him because you know you didn't do something you were supposed to do, that's on you and that's different. That means you damn sure better keep working with him because you're not doing what you're supposed to do and you need to be held accountable. But anybody, any relationship, any place, I say people, places, and things that don't make me happy must be eliminated. And that truly is a guiding principle for my life. And since I switched and started living life that way, it's gotten exponentially better by the tons. And not to mean everything gets perfect. It's not perfect. But even in the bad times, I still have so much stuff to be happy about that they're not so bad anymore. So that's my message. Remember, we are on day number 6 of 7 days from Women Who Love Too Much. Don't let the title fool you. Men love too much too, and love in the wrong ways too. And then tomorrow is our last day. So make sure you guys, when you see me pop on for tomorrow, it's going to be a summary. So we're going to land the plane and bring all of the principles and the things that we talked about into a summary and go from there. And then I will share on Monday next week's book. So in the meantime and in between time, guys, I appreciate you. If you were on live, I see you guys. I appreciate you. And those of you who chime in from the on the replays, make sure you hit the like button, say hey Mars, whatever. And if you go onto YouTube, make sure you don't forget to click the little subscribe button to subscribe to YouTube. And if you're interested in coaching or want more information about it, you just kind of don't know what it looks like or how it works, feel free to inbox me and let's talk about it. So in the meantime and in between time, guys, I'm out. Thanks for living life on Mars. We'll talk soon.